really is. And the greatest hour, it's such a good idea.
Yeah, totally. I think I was just flown in to lower morale over the airwaves in the various hospitals and hopefully take people's minds off things while they're doing this incredible job.
No, it's very good. You're so self-deprecating because you said that you would spare us from you singing and all of that, but we don't really think that. We actually love to hear you, and I think this really will raise people's spirits. I think it's a fantastic idea. I mean, we're seeing shots right now of people cleaning and trying somehow to make sense of it, which is part of your video, and it is a salute to everybody who's doing these tough jobs in such difficult times.
Yeah, I wrote the song called The Greatest for my children, really about the world that they will inherit after we have, well, you know, decimated the planet in the way that we often, but it appears we have. But now it seems that that song is more applicable to the greatest people I know and can see during this pandemic. And I've always been huge supporters of them through Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders, but we can really see doctors and nurses and health workers in action now, and that's why the single is for them, and all proceeds are going to the NHS.
It is wonderful you're doing that, and I know you owe personally a great debt to the NHS, as indeed most of us do, because of your dad. How's your dad doing?
Yeah, the NHS gave him a second shot at life. He's got himself a second-hand kidney from another man called Charles Blunt, his namesake, a cousin, and he's now in isolation, immunosuppressed, so hiding away with my mother, and alive and well, and we're all incredibly grateful.
It's wonderful, but it's a shame, like everyone else, you can't see him right now. I wonder, you're in Ibiza, that's where home is, obviously, you and the family. The Spanish rules have been quite tight. What has it been like for you there?
Yeah, we had a stricter lockdown than the UK. We couldn't go out for the exercise that you guys have been allowed out for. But actually, you know, if you're in Spain and fortunate enough to have a garden, I really can't complain. Life is good in that respect compared to people who might be in a flat. I think, you know, that must be a whole different ball game. And lockdown is now easing. Actually, we've got bars and restaurants that are open, and so we are starting to venture out.
Right. So slowly, things getting back to whatever normal is going to be, James, because I don't think it's ever going to be the normal that we had. Yeah,
I mean. I obviously have, my tour was cancelled, and my band and my crew all had to head home, and we have no idea when that tour might be, you know, to kick off again. All our summer festival shows look like they're being delayed for another year, and it's really hard because I suppose music brings people together, which is the antithesis of social distancing. I'm in the wrong business, really. Music does that. The other business I'm in is in the pub business. I bought a pub called the Fox and Pheasant in Chelsea, and that's closed down too. And so, yeah, I've definitely chosen the wrong industries to be in at this stage.
Probably right now. Although, having said that, it's amazing, like, what you can do virally, you know, what you can do remotely. You know, you're with what you're doing with the hospitals, doing that show. So it's just finding different ways to get your music out there and to get things that you've created out there, isn't it?
Yeah, as I say, I think for myself, I'm incredibly lucky, and I can do these things and connect with people. You know, the people I would mention who are toughing out are the people who are always behind the scenes, as is the way. My band, my crew, and the staff at a pub are obviously struggling much more than the little pop star sitting at home in Ibiza.
So do you actually feel in a way, quite privileged in the situation that you are? Because the thing I really like about you is you don't take yourself seriously. You take what you do seriously, you take your music seriously, but you don't take yourself seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm incredibly fortunate in this way. But in many ways, you know, that's what's going on with this war against a virus, a disease, is many of us are sitting at home while the real heroes are the doctors and the nurses doing their bit, and that's why I'm really championing them. And, you know, we have a celebrity culture. Maybe when this is all over, maybe we'll celebrate them a bit more.
Do you know what? We were just talking about that, and we've been talking about that a lot, haven't we, Hilary, about the fact that the real heroes and the real people that we should be admiring are absolutely our people on the front line. And interestingly, and I think this is quite interesting because it sort of channels into something to exactly what you've said, so many young kids now, you know, when you say to people, what do you want to be when you grow up? and it would be, well, for me, it was an astronaut, or, you know, or it might be for some kids, it might be, I want to be a reality star. They're now saying they want to be scientists and they want to be doctors and nurses and all of that. So that's a good sign.
Very much so. And I can really talk about that experience even as a soldier when I was in the Kosovo War in '89, thinking I was doing a tough job as a reconnaissance officer, really pushing forward. And wherever I went, ahead of me, there were always doctors and nurses, part of Médecins Sans Frontières, who were giving medical care and attention to the people who really suffer in war, the civilians there. So I just think they're a remarkable breed of human being.
And isn't it good that you can give something back? You can do that.
Well, I don't know if they'll enjoy it or not, or whether it'll...
There you go again. They will enjoy it. They will. Of course they will, James Blunt. Of course they will. It is so good to talk to you. I'm glad things are getting a little less strict in Spain. And obviously, gradually, we have to take this real slow. We don't want anybody to have a second wave. But thank you for talking to us. It's great to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, James. And what he was saying was so good there.
It was. The single, I should say the single, The Greatest, is out right now because, I'm saying that because all the proceeds are going to the NHS.
Fantastic. Yeah, thanks for that, James. But he's quite right that, you know, people think that, you know, music, people love music, people find music creative and satisfying, but so is a medical or nursing career.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's
couldn't be more so.
Some research coming out of the Sheffield Hallam University just yesterday, massive numbers of people signing up. They want to be nurses, they want to be doctors.
That's really good.
And what they're seeing now is I don't know, maybe it's changing their life, the way they look at life. And they're saying, I want to put something back, I want to look after people, despite the hardships that they're also seeing on the front line.